I'm walking here and all that. And welcome back to the American Army. That's correct. And welcome back to Fort Dumont, or whatever the hell it's called, in the beautiful western front of Verdun. And I know what you're thinking, why are you here? Well, we're here because those damn Krauts sunk the Lusitania, and they're monsters. I'm also here because, well, that's what we do. We fight the war. Alright. But I chose the Americans because, as I said, I finally finalized my joinment of the US Army reenactors here in New Zealand. And we're using the Springfield because this is what I need to finish my reenactment thing. I need a firearm for my reenactment. Thanks to Comrade Jacinda. M1 Garands, M1 carbines are illegal. And Thompson submachine guns are rather costly. And I don't have the license for them. So the only thing left to me is either a trench gun or one of these. So I thought we may as well see how it feels for when I try and find one. I must admit, I've always been a fan of the infield style mortar rather than the infield style bolt rather than the mortar style bolt. Though this does feel quite satisfying. A nice mechanical chink chink if you put the bolt in. Man, this close quarter fighting would actually super favor a trench gun or a. Well, as I said, I've used the Shoshar in here before to some devastating effect. But yeah, I don't have any grenades left anymore. But, as an American, it's our job to do the American thing. And save the day for freedom. I'm deliberately talking shit because I have a mate who's actually was in the US Army in the 101st. So I like to wind him up about how he saved the world from freedom. And that sort of thing. Alright. Must admit, this map's actually pretty good for close quarter fighting, as long as you keep it in the fort. If it's outside the fort, then it can be a bit of a slaughter. You set up a machine gun on the higher ridges up the top here, and you can very easily dominate the battlefield. Fuck! You two idiots! He's standing right there! Oh my gosh! Alright. We need to re-secure that position. Because, well, no kidding. But our lads are letting the bloody Krauts through. Hold the line. Grenade. This is why we've got them. Alright, we held back that assault. I think the 5 rounds rapid fire, which is a damn fine tactic, and the grenade helped there. Although, shit, there's a lot of fucking dead Frenchmen here. Holy crap. I can understand why the French called it the Lost Generation. Although, to be fair, bright blue uniforms is not the most tactically viable option, is it, lads?
Where the hell do you think you're going, soldier?
I'm gonna fight the Krauts, you bloody puff. Right, reload. Oh, phew. Really thought I was done for there, lads. What a miserable place this would be to live. At least you got a heater and some bunks, but man. Oh. Damn. Thank you, Frenchman. Never thought I'd say this, but thanks for the French. Thank God for the French. And that is the only time I'll say that. Because as a New Zealander, thanking France for anything is an insult to our nation. We still remember the Rainbow Warrior. And even worse, how they cheated at fucking sport. Cheating bastards. Only the most dishonourable cheat at rugby. And yes, I'm calling out Australia subtly for that. Although, Australia's crimes tend to be limited to cricket. I still think the 1981 underarm incident is amusing. And the fact that they cheated by scraping sandpaper on the fucking ball in between matches in like 2009. It's just fucking pathetic.
Look out, they're attacking!
Oh no shit, they're attacking. Man, I do want a Springfield. As I said, I'm going to a gun sale this weekend out of town, and I'm looking for a Springfield. That's what I want. I've put aside $2,000 for one, which is ironic that it's costing $2 fucking grand now for a Springfield when you could used to get them for like $600-700. Same for Lee Enfield. Like a 303 Lee Enfield used to cost you like $300-400. Every bloody New Zealander, hunter had one. But now they're like $1,000 each, and that's because with the reduction of semi-automatic firearms from the bloody country, thanks Comrade Jacinda, bolt actions have suddenly become a lot more desirable, and especially old bolt actions that have 10-round magazines like a Lee Enfield is suddenly a lot more appealing than something else. So all these old historical rifles are suddenly shot up in value. Grenade. I think that was a wasted grenade, but whatever. Alright. Good work, my bloody American chums. I don't actually... Despite being best friends with an American and living with him for like 6 months when he was squatting on my couch. Well, he was squatting in the spare room on the couch, let's be honest. I've never picked up any American slang. All my slang is New Zealand or English slang. Like, g'day cobber, g'day mate. I don't actually know what American slang is. It's interesting. I must admit, the iron sights on this thing aren't too bad. The fast bolt is a lot more superior. It's hard to equate a game to real life, but the bolt seems a lot smoother than a Mauser bolt. Which is the other thing. I've been trying to hunt down a bloody old Mauser, because, as I said, for firearms of each of the major powers in the Second World War, all I need is a K98, and it would have been a Garand, but I'm now having to replace that with a Springfield. And both of them are very hard to find. I've been bidding on a bloody 1939 K98, which has Wehrmacht markings, but it's like people are fucking fighting me for it, and it's irritating. I wish it would just be like, instead of auctions, it would just be a sale. Like someone just goes up and goes, I want this much for this rifle. I'd go sold, instead of you can all bid, and whoever pays me the most gets the rifle. Which I know is how capitalism works, but and I ain't knocking capitalism, rather that than communism. But it still can be rather annoying. Because originally I was going after a First World War Mauser, and then couldn't find one. So I've been actually sourcing some with the weird Mausers, like the Spanish and Chilean Mausers. There was a Chilean Mauser that was actually, I managed to find out by looking at its markings, with a Austrian First World War rifle, but the guy refuses to ship rifles, so it would have been a 12-hour car journey to go get it, which is just slightly too annoying for a 1912 Austrian Army rifle. Which does bring me to another little naggle, since we're niggling about firearm things. There's only one courier company left in this fucking country that will ship firearms anymore. After the bloody mosque shootings, everyone became so anti-gun that all the courier companies refused to ship firearms except one. And even they charge like $100, like $50 more than they used to. So it used to be like $50, now it's $100 to ship firearms. It's so fucking bullshit. Our fucking government are a bunch of fucking hippie liberal SJW anti-firearm nutcases. And the thing is, it's not people like me. You guys should have really had my back there, assholes. me, who actually has a license and is a certified collector. I'm a member of the bloody Historical Reenactment Society and the Antique Firearms Society. It's the fucking cunts in South Auckland with sawn-off shotguns you have to worry about. But no, let's just punish all of the law-abiding citizens, because that's just how it goes. This is getting a little bit harder because the enemy's got bloody decent sight lines.
Hold the line! Hold the line!
Let's back up. Back up from the Wailing Death Barrage. Come on, lads. Oh, shit. Fight them back. Damn it. This requires a different tactic. No, we don't have any other weapons. I think the Springfield's probably the best weapon for this scenario. I've never been here before. I've never actually looked at this part of the map. That's pretty cool. I like this. Alright, sorry. I ain't derelict duty. I'm just... Ow. I was admiring the countryside. Nice. A sniper rifle or a machine gun right here would actually be very good. You've got just enough of a silhouette to pick them out against the skyline.
We're not giving this up without a fight.
Grenade. Kind of short of my grenades there, but that's alright. But right here, a bloody machine gun right here. Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be so sexy. Look at the unrestricted firing arcs. You had one light machine gun here, one light machine gun there, or you wouldn't even need a second light machine gun. One light machine gun here, and then a guy with a rifle covering this flank, and you'd dominate this position. You would have to watch for snipers though, but if you were using a full squad, and you had other guys with rifles watching your back, then that would be so easily done. That's one of the things, there's so much teamwork that you could do in Verdun, but I've never been able to utilize it because I don't have friends. And when I did have friends who played this, I only had 2 of them, so we could only ever have a 3-person squad. Which is good, but you miss that extra tactical flexibility from having someone additional. Like, we could have, officer, machine gun, and rifle in this little trench, but then our other teammate would be off running around doing something on their own. So it's just not quite as ideal. Alright, well, we've moved into the position. Looks like the British and the Belgians are moving well quite nicely. I must say, we seem to be quite dominating the Germans today, my friends. Bloody good stuff. Then Krauts will be back to Berlin before you know it. Alright, are they... Bugger. Johann. I bet he immigrates... Johann. With a name like that, I bet he immigrates to fucking South Africa after this war. A lot of them did that. Well, that whole Boer War, wasn't it? One that started by all that nonsense. Alright. Want to maintain adequate sight lines without exposing ourselves too much. Alright, displace. Alright, Right, we want to displace into another position of cover where we can have some adequate sight lines, but we're not too exposed. Oh, that was nice. It's only like 50, 60 meters, but even so, it's very satisfying getting a distant target with an iron sight. As I said, there's something more pure about iron sight shooting over a scope, but shit. Oh, beautiful. Bloody beautiful. Springfield rifles A-okay with me.
Yeah,